Good morning here on a beautiful fall day. It's about 65 degrees. I thought I'd go for a bike this time. I haven't been on my bike in a long time. I've got my trusty Cannondale here. Uh, there she is. This bike was a friend of mine's, Mark. I love you, brother. Um, Miss him. Friend of mine, Mark. You probably don't know him. He passed away a long time ago, and they were, going through his things, and he had this bike, and his mom was like, "Would you like his bike?" I'm like, "Absolutely, I love his bike." So this is a '96 or '97 Cannondale. Kept it in pretty good shape. Um, Put some safety features on it. Rear light, headlight, and some reflective stuff. Um, I used to be a road bike guy. Loved road bikes. Had my old Dave Scott Centurion. Then bought my Trek 1400, which I still have. I use it as a trainer now. I'm not on the road anymore. Retirement. As I'd mentioned, roads are kind of crazy these days. So I am going to go today on the old abandoned Baldwin Road. It goes from here in Hamden, um, and it goes all the way down to Three Judges Cave. Um, that's down in the Haven, or as we say around here, in the Haven. Um, it's also the Residues Trail, which is based after Whaley Golf, the Three Judges, uh, back in the King Charles II day. I'll have some information linked. They hid up in the Three Judges Cave back in the 1600s because they had a price on their head. And there's also the Blue Trail that is over here somewhere, and it crisscrosses the old Baldwin Drive. Hiked on that a bunch of times. Really great trail. This road was built in the 30s, early 20th century, part of the work project. And I'll take some video and talk about. This was a really beautiful scenic drive back in its day, but it closed. I think it closed in the 70s or 80s. I knew people from high school that had keg parties up here, and it got a really bad rep. Um, I think that those days are over. I know that the governor here in Connecticut has done a lot of updates to parks. They did a lot of work um, on the East Rock side, I believe on the West Rock side too, on the entrance. I would love to see this road resurrected. It's got beautiful scenic views. So this road actually runs along the spine of this small mountain that borders Hamden, Woodbridge, it really would be a great drive, a great scenic drive, a great tourist thing for people to see. But right now, it's just an old gravel road. It's great to hike in all seasons. Winter, it's got a lot of vistas that look over into Woodbridge to the west. Hamden is pretty much blocked off. They had some overlooks, but after 50 years, the trees have really grown over, and you really can't see anything. Now with the leaves coming down, you might be able to. But I'm just going to take a ride down there and have some fun. I'm totally not in my old biking gear. I used to have the whole jersey and pants and everything. Um, One thing I'd like to say about biking, and I think this is really important, and I taught this to scouts. Our son's an Eagle Scout when he got his biking merit badge. I always consider offensive and defensive biking. And what I mean by that, offensive biking is, as far as the equipment, you have a headlamp, you've got a rear light. I know a lot of bikes have standard reflectors on their pedals and everything. If you see a lot of people on the road today, it's totally different than it was in my day. They've got headlights on their bikes that are brighter than cars, so you can see where you're going and people can see you. And also the blinking lights, the rear lights, the red lights are blinking, so you can definitely see that there's a biker on the road. Defensive cycling is, I see a lot of people doing this running. I mean, there was a TV person here back in the 80s, Ellen Abrams, she worked for WTNH, and she got killed jogging one morning. I see people on the wrong side of the road, face to the traffic. I know with biking it's the opposite, you ride with traffic, not against. But I see people wearing grays and blacks when they're biking. You look like the pavement. People are not as aware as they used to be. I know I'm a boomer, but hey, proud to be one. Wear colors that are offensive. This is the fall, so blue in the fall. In the spring, you can wear orange. I mean, even pink, slime-colored, colors. Things that people are definitely going to see you. I taught this to the scouts too. I know most biking pants are black, and it's really no other colors. I mean, there are some, but 99% of them are black. But your top, even like my helmet, yellow. It's got reflectors. I put a reflector on the back. My gloves, red, so people, if you wave your hand, people can see you. You can make those reflective. I think a lot of things for people to see you is really, really important. Who cares what you look like? What matters is that people can see you. So you're wearing something bright and you're wearing something that is visible. So I think that's just really important. So I'm going to get out on the trail here, have some fun, and I'll see you later. One of our first big changes as you come up the old road is this. This had been blocked off for a long time. Actually, these two blocks right here, or right there. Right there. They had blocked off this road for a long, long time. And actually there was a big dirt hill you had to get over to get to the other side, which has now been cut away. You can see it over there a little bit. So yeah, they have, the problem was, if you had to get maintenance vehicles in here, God forbid there was a fire or some sort of, someone has medical issue, whatever, you'd have to come all the way from the other side, which is about 5 miles away. But there is a gate at the bottom, so it's not like cars can drive up here. But maintenance vehicles, state people, whatever, they can come through. At the very start of the northern end is what's left of a turnaround here as the road heads up that way. People can come down here and turn around. There's very few things left of it. You can see some pavement, but you can see some sort of a path kind of goes around to the other side of this pine tree, but there's not much left. It is somewhat visible, but this is one little landmark at the beginning. Here is where the Blue Trail intersects or crosses over the old Baldwin Drive. This happens a lot. You can go back and forth and serpentine across the trail or across the road a few times as the road goes up. So this is an option if you're a hiker, but we're going to continue on this way. Just cruising along here. Really, really is nice. Nice ride. Off to our west is Woodbridge. Off to our east is Hamden. And just heading down the road. This area is one of the scenic overlooks. I'm looking out towards, actually over Hamden, out to North Haven. And there's probably parking here at one time, parking across the street or the road. And this must have been a really good view at one time. Of course, it's it's completely blocked. You really can't see anything. In the fall or winter, I'm sure you can get a good view, but right now it's just you can see the leaves are starting to change. This must have been a pretty nice scenic overlook at one time. This is the second of the abandoned overlook areas coming from the north, which is over there. South over here. Once again, Hamden, North Haven in the distance. Can barely make out the Merritt Parkway. Over there is Woodbridge behind the trees. But once again, just silence. Haven't met anyone yet today. It's quiet. Biking on. Just saw one biker go by. Dirt biker. Off-road. So we've got these really old guardrails, wood, going down into some sort of cement post holes. They're scattered throughout. I'm thinking when people drove their Buick or their Packard, they weren't doing 65, they were doing 35, so just a lot of wooden and wire guardrails around here. A little bit of a drop off. You can see one of the reservoirs way out there. We're down near the flats and Woodbridge over there. I'm going to keep on going. Very cool, some sort of old guard shack or house of some kind. It's just pretty much at the top of this little crest here. But I don't think it was big enough for someone to live in. Probably some sort of entrance fee shack or maybe something like that. Here is one of our big scenic turnarounds here. To my right is down towards the Three Judges. Over here is back to Hamden, northern Hamden. And we can look out, sort of blocked. Like my cousin Vinny. What are those things? Trees? What are those little things on the trees? Leaves. Yeah, at one time he had a great view. Route 69 is down there. You can sort of make out through the trees a little bit here. This is going to be my turnaround. I'm going to head back. Been a long time since I've been on a bike. So, taking it easy today. Nice little short, maybe hour bike, poking along. And I'm going to head back. Just had a maintenance vehicle pass me by, state of Connecticut. Good to see they're doing some work here. So we're just poking along here. Watching out for no bears. That's always a good thing. Alright, got a hill coming up. Gonna do some climbing. One of the really cool sections of this old road are these old catch basins, which are made out of, looks like granite, brownstone maybe. Some of them actually have bricked boxes in them where all the water would go. Sure somebody lives down there. Where these old drain lines end up, I don't know. Are there any history majors at QU or Yale? I want to check it out. But they are really cool. They're scattered about. I've seen more down at the north end. Let me see if I can go find another one of those. Give you some more detail, but really from a time long gone. Well, that was a workout. Uh, Went out for about an hour. Um, you know, your mind does play tricks on you. Um, that was my first serious bike ride in a very, very long time. When you're younger, you just go out. It's no big deal. Even in my 20s, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna crank out 60, 70 miles a day. As you get older and post problems, um, this was an hour and 10 minutes maybe. Maybe next time I'll stick to the pavement on the trail back there. But I've walked on this trail so many times, and you're like, oh, this is easy. But doing 20, 25 miles an hour on a bike, it's a little more bumpier than you remember hiking it. So nice reminder of your limitations. But I took it easy. Just looked around, enjoyed the day. It is a very nice day out. Saw a couple of bikers as well, and one maintenance truck from the state. I think I might have mentioned that. So there is activity on the trail. I know on the weekends, this is midweek, on the weekends it's fairly well traveled. I mean, you'll see a lot of people. But it is good to get back out before the weather turns too cold. We've got another maybe 5-6 weeks here in New England before it starts dropping off. But the leaves have just started turning, so I might come back maybe for a hike here or go somewhere else, see the leaves. But it was just good to be out, good to have the wheels under me again. It was something that I had, I lived biking for a very long time. When you're single, and I was in grad school, and you just do what you want. My Trek hung up on the wall in my garage for a good 15 years before we got back into Scouts and did biking with them. So you remember things, but then when you get your legs back on the saddle again, it's tougher than you remember. I couldn't imagine going up these hills or cranking now. But whatever you do, go out, have fun. I had fun today. I'm going to go home and have something to eat. Gatorade only does so much. But once again, thanks for watching. Like if you want to, appreciate it. And we'll see you out in the trail. Take it easy.